on, TV, give me some of that sweet, sweet pep.
You don't zap her on my show!
The weather.
Look at the strength of Vader.
Yes!
That's not possible.
I've seen that guy somewhere. On TV.
Hello Marvel Legends and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behavior, and today it is again the Legends Legacy Review. So of course the question is, who's it going to be? Can you get kind of a theme going on here, sort of a patriotic Captain America type theme with a little bit of Bucky thrown in? Of course it is Bucky Cap. Bucky Cap, Captain America, the replacement to Steve Rogers when he got shot with a mystical time bullet that sent him back in time, but not his body, just his incorporeal form, and I've gone cross-eyed. But yes, we have Bucky Cap here, but before I dive into the review, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, in the style of any classic Saturday morning kids TV show, we have our own mascot, Stanley. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Stanley. He's going to be joining us occasionally throughout these reviews. We're going to be, hello Stanley, thank you. We're going to be getting into all sorts, close your mouth. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be getting into all sorts of japes and games and whatnot. He's not going to be like a big feature, so don't worry. He's not going to like dominate this. But Stanley, what are you? Oh, Stanley, come on. Stanley, leave. Go on. You ruined it. That's going to be a nice thing. Stanley, quicker. Anyway. Here's the history of the Winter Soldier. So the history of Bucky Cap. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, alright? So let's not go into too much detail. I'm not going to teach your grandmother how to suck eggs. That's such a weird expression, teach your grandmother how to suck eggs. Where did that come from? If anyone can tell me in the comments, what's the origin of that expression? But I digress. So, Bucky Cap. He took over from Steve Rogers as Captain America. At the end of Civil War, as we all know, Steve Rogers was shot. First of all, by a sniper who was Crossbones, and then he was shot by Sharon Carter with a time bullet that sent his consciousness back through time. It was a whole thing. But the gist was, someone needed to fill the role of Captain America, and that mantle fell on Bucky Barnes. And it was a nice little sort of story element, how Steve Rogers, when he was arrested, wrote a letter to Tony Stark saying, hey, I know we've had our differences, but the world needs Captain America. Not necessarily me, but they need the symbol of Captain America. So Tony took that and he went to Bucky and he was like, look, you deserve to pick up the mantle. And pick up the mantle he did, and off to the races we ran. But one thing I want to add to this review, which I will add to subsequent reviews, is what was happening in the world when this character was introduced. So folks, what we're going to do right here is go back, way back into time. Alright folks, so Bucky Cap was first introduced in Captain America number 34, which came out in January of 2008. The movie at the time, the number one movie at the box office, God help us, was Meet the Spartans. So that's what we were doing at the time. That's where we were culturally. On the flip side, conversely to that though, the number one TV show was Breaking Bad, which I would hope most people can agree is just a beautiful piece of televisual brilliance. So we have that going for us. The number one single at the time was Now You're Gone by Bass Hunter, which I won't pretend to be familiar with. The number one album was by Scouting for Girls, who I recognize the name, so that counts for something. As far as pro wrestling goes, the WWE champion was Randy Orton. And as for the IWGP title, this is interesting because this was pretty much when the IWGP title was combined with the IGF title. It's all a bit confusing, but basically Kurt Angle was the champion and Nakamura defeated Angle on February 17th, 2008 to unify the New Japan and IGF versions of the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. I know, it's all a bit convoluted. And why? Because Brock Lesnar came into New Japan, took the title, but didn't really want to do business. So they had Angle beat Lesnar, and then Nakamura beat Angle, and finally, all was right with the world. And that was what was happening when the world was introduced to Bucky Cap. So as for the figure itself, this is a figure that does what it says on the tin. It's basic, but it works. That's why the Bucky Cap mold has gone on to be used so much for so many different characters, because it's so versatile. Just take a look, like any sort of average-sized character can be put on the Bucky Cap mold, and there's a reason it's lasted as long as it has. It's a great sort of figure. The proportions work really well. He's not super jacked, he's not skinny, he's your average Joe, and thus that means Hasbro must love it because they can get so much use out of it. But I'm not mad, because even though it's starting to show its age a little bit, it's still really, really good. You've got the paint job here, first of all. Well, second of all, I suppose. He's got the metallic paint, which is great. And I love how they just have a bit of it. That was a great design for the comics, which were then recreated here, was that he keeps the Captain America elements, but he's not the slightly cartoonish, walking red, white, and blue flag that Steve Rogers was, because that's not who Bucky is. Bucky was the Winter Soldier. He was this hardcore mercenary Black Ops type dude. Actually, that was one thing that they sort of retconned, I think, was that Bucky during World War II actually was like a badass Black Ops person who did all these sort of missions that the government didn't want Cap to know about. I thought that was a great touch to the character. So here we have a more militaristic version of Captain America, which I think works really well. He's got the belt on the back with the lovely molded pockets and pouches. He's got the holster for his gun, which of course is a big difference for Captain America to actually have a holstered firearm. Not that it's a big deal that Captain America shoots and kills people. Like, people are like, oh, Captain America once killed this guy, or Baron Blood, or blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. He's a soldier. He shoots people. But it is a difference to actually have the gun incorporated in the outfit. I really like that. So I love the fact that Bucky clearly with this outfit is making it his own, but also paying reverence to Steve Rogers, to his fallen friend. I love that. I think that's really, really great. So, I'm not going to wax lyrical too much because that is the figure. You know it. You know this figure so well. If you're watching this, you probably have like 10 billion Bucky Cap mold figures. But it's cool. It suits its purpose. I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh my God, I love this figure. Because it's fine. But, the face sculpt is decent. I feel the face is a little bit narrow. Am I crazy? Or like, the face feels a little bit narrow to me, but that's okay. It's only a very minor sort of gripe. And his very sort of stoic expression, I think, is fine because that works for the stoic Captain America. So on the whole, I would give this character a thumbs up. He gets 5 star-spangled banners out of 8. I don't know. Either way, with that opinion aside, it's only left for me to ask, BJ, what bar is Bucky Cap?
I'm so glad you asked, David. Now, the Bucky Cap figure has the classic red, white, and blue colors, with a lot of black mixed in, and of course that beautiful metallic sheen to everything. So coming in at number 3 for what bar Bucky Cap is, I would say he is a Three Musketeers bar. You got that red, you got that white and blue, and that beautiful metallic silver to bring it all up. But now second, I would say that Bucky Cap is actually American Airlines. Again, we're missing that black, but we have the red, the blue, and that beautiful metallic sheen. And like the Bucky Cap mold, it's everywhere. In every major city, used in every major figure. But coming in at number 1, I would have to say that Bucky Cap is Pepsi Max. You got the red, you got the blue, you got the white, and of course that beautiful black tone. And just like Bucky Cap himself, you get all the Captain America with none of the Steve Rogers. Back to you, David.
That, of course, was a special What Bar segment brought to you by my good, close, personal, longtime friend, BJ. You'll be seeing a bit more of him throughout these shows. I love incorporating more people to make this more of a community. That's so awesome. So, guys, if you want to send me a What Bar, don't be shy. Hit me up on Instagram, actually. Instagram, displaying_model_behavior. The more interactions I can get, I absolutely dig that. So now, let's take a look at where Bucky Cap ranks on the Legends Legacy ranking. Now, as for the Bucky Cap ranking, I know that I do like him, but I don't like him a huge amount because he does show his age somewhat for a figure, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, but he's not going to go incredibly high. He's going to go over some of the figures that I'm just not too keen on, but I would say he's going to rest. Let me see. He's better than... He fits in better than Genisfell. Constrictor, though, is a lot of fun. So, yeah, I am going to put him one below Constrictor, above Genisfell, number 15 on the Legends Legacy ranking. So, here we go with the posings and comparisons. First of all, of course, the man himself, the man of the hour, the man with the power. It is Bucky Barnes, Bucky Cap. But coming in right next to him, we have something completely different, Monty Python style. Now for something completely different. We have Venomized Captain America, who I just figured, you know what? He's a Captain America. Let's put them up next to each other, see how they compare. Now, the most obvious, I think, comparison is, of course, Bucky with his Winter Soldier self. And actually, the Winter Soldier figure, much taller, I think, maybe by a hair, maybe not much taller, but certainly he is a bigger figure than the Bucky Cap, which also is fine. They're supposed to scale together, but at the same time, they show their age. Things just change over time, which is fine. Now we have, quite appropriately actually, considering how prominent he's going to feature in the Winter Soldier TV show, we have Citizen V. Not that I think we're going to see Citizen V, but of course we know that he is, of course, Baron Helmut Zemo. Then we have, I'm going to move Venomized Cap down here, because I want to show a fun comparison with 80th Cap, because now you can see how I kind of like the fact that 80th Cap is bigger and slightly more imposing than Bucky Cap, because even though they're both kind of contemporary adults now, it's fun that Captain America Steve Rogers is still the bigger, more senior kind of character. And then finally, we have Capwolf Cap. And there are our Star-Spangled Avengers, our Star-Spangled men with the plan. And look, I'm going to go the extra mile. Boom. There you go. How is that for professionalism? I'm going to poke my head around the side. That's how all these guys compare when you rack them up next to each other. And there we have it. We have our complete Captain America Star-Spangled Winter Soldier type display, which is fun to see these guys all together. I've had different ones for such a long time, sort of Well, that was a thing that just happened. Let me know in the comments if if you want to see more of Stanley. I think it might make my production times triple in length, but that's just from repairing the damage that he does. But folks, thank you so much for joining me here, but we're not done yet. There's still one, I think my favorite sort of reoccurring segment now, which is sharing the insanely awesome artistry on Instagram. So guys, as we go out with a fantastic retro musical number, take a look at some of the amazing things out there on Instagram, and more to the point, check the names of the people who have provided these pictures. Go and check out and follow their accounts, because there is some insane talent out there. Until next time, guys, if you liked what you see here and you want to see more, join the 61 Clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Join the Discord below and chat with all the crazy people who follow this page. And most importantly, folks, keep displaying model behavior.
I'm Batman.
So I love seeing them all in comparison with one another. Especially, I never knew where to put symbiote Captain America before, because